Hey, money makers. Welcome back to Over Here, a week craft for money. I'm DJ, and Thanksgiving is right around the corner, but it is not too late for you to make a couple of cute home decor projects, complete them in time for people who show up at your house. So, we're going to take care of your centerpiece on your table by making us a table swag. So, let's jump into this video so that you can get ahead of the game before it's time to take the turkey out the oven. Let's go. All right, so here are our supplies that we are going to use for our table swag. So you will need yourself a pool noodle from the Dollar Tree. Doesn't matter what color. I've had this one for like 2 years because I only go to the beach when my friends come to town and they always want a pool noodle. I still had in my stash some of these 12-foot painters sticks from the Home Depot. They were free, guys, but I heard recently from another YouTuber that they have stopped giving these away. So if you cannot get them for free, and I would try that first, I would go to the paint counter and ask them, do they have the 12-foot bucket paint stirrers? They may not, but if they don't, they are selling them, which is why I think they're not free anymore. This is their brand. You get a pack of 3 in this for like $1.28. You're going to need some popsicle sticks. They also sell these at the Home Depot. Again, I got this big old pack for like under $2. And as you can see, I have a whole lot of them. I do have a few different types of florals. These roses should look familiar to you because they were in our wreath refresh video. And I told you, we don't waste nothing. You're going to see them again. These are just some I found in my stash on discount. These came from the Dollar Tree. And I just snip off the stems because I don't need them for the table swag. I just need a little bit. These are the leaves that came off of one of the swags that I had, or florals that I had in my stash. And then these did come from Michael's. And no, we are not buying flowers. Now, to be fair, I did not buy flowers that day, but I did go back and get them and see how they came into good use now. Now, back to the video. And they were all 3 together in a big bundle. And again, I just cut off the long part. You're going to need, if you do the project that I'm doing, these I got from the Dollar Tree. They're $1.25. They're just their center candle. And I like them because they have a frosted glass look and I don't have to create that. And they have them in the colors that I would prefer to work with. Again, another cheap one little bundle. I think I got this from Michael's for Halloween, so it's a little bit darker. This should look familiar. This is the poppy, and I may or may not use it to embellish the candle at the end, but it's one of the little embellishments that I had from a different project. And then I do have a series of ribbons. Again, this ribbon should look familiar because we used this when we refreshed our wreath. And so these are just the scraps that's left over because we don't throw scraps away. You will need some pipe cleaners. So I have these. Again, you won't see these in the project, so the color will not matter. And then, of course, I have a pair of scissors. I have a pair of my wire cutters. I am going to be using my staple gun. I have my little handsaw from the Dollar Tree because we've got to cut the pool noodle. And then I just put some butcher paper down on the table just to protect the table. So this is basically everything that you are going to need. I do have my glue gun over here heating up on the counter there, just because that's probably what I'm going to use to affix the little glitter ball thingy here if I use it. So I have it set up just in case. So with that, let's jump into this project. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is take my 2 free Home Depot paint sticks. These are the 12 footers. Again, they were free. I had a few of them from last year. I'm going to use that as the bottom of my centerpiece, and I'm going to take my staple gun and staple 2 of the popsicle sticks. I guess they're a little wider. I guess I would call those tongue depressors, and I'm going to staple that down to solidify them together. I found that's easier than using wood glue because I don't have time to wait. Again, we're trying to hurry up and get this done so we can get to our Thanksgiving cooking. So I'm going to staple that down, and how much you use is up to you. I suppose you could also solidify them with some wire, or you could even use pipe cleaner. But I just found I like that better. It's a whole lot sturdier. Once I have that down, the next thing that I'm going to do is size out the pool noodle to the length of that I need. Now, if you notice, if you've got an extremely long rectangular dining room table and you want to make this even longer, you would just need to use 4 or even 6 of these paint stirrer sticks to get there. I cut a little bit past what I need just in case I need to shave it off. And now I am going to split that in half. But first, I just want to make sure that I got a good measurement on it, and I do. So now it's time to cut the pool noodle in half because, again, I don't need the full circular piece. I just need half of it. So I'm using my little Dollar Tree table saw, honey, very carefully because your girl can get real klutzy sometimes. But I'm just trying to cut a little bit down through, not all the way through, so that I can see that, hey, okay, I know that I got it there halfway. And now I'm just going to use the top of it to cut all the way down, trying to keep it as even as I can. Because again, if you're going to think about selling table swags, this is a great way for you to do it, right? And I want to get as much out of my resources as I can. My pool noodle came from the Dollar Tree. It was $1.25, though I think that Walmart sells them for $1, or I think somebody said the Dollar General. So don't quote me. I have these in my stash, but once I have it cut in half, it's easy to just go right on in and finish that on up and get me two. So if you keep in track of that, $1.25 for a pool noodle and 2 free sticks from the Home Depot. So far, I've only spent 75 cents on this project. Now that I have it cut in half, I am going to go ahead and just secure it a little bit further with the glue. So we're going to put the glue on first, and just be careful when you're using a hot glue gun. I should have had my little finger protectors on because, honey, hot wax is hot. And I should have had that. Also, keep in mind that the pool noodles are plastic, so they can melt, especially under the heat of that glue gun. So I am going to use that first to solidify it and get them down by applying some pressure and just pressing down real good. But I am going to, in a moment, grab some zip ties because, again, if I'm going to be moving it around and for the purposes of this video and taking photo shots at the end, I was. And I just wanted to make sure that it was safe and secure. I don't think I needed to have the zip ties, but since I already had them in my stash, I thought, why not? I would say if you're going to sell this, I definitely would use these zip ties underneath. And the cool thing about it is, no matter what color the zip ties are that you have, nobody's going to see it once you embellish it with the floral. So you just want to wrap it from the bottom to the top and then give it a nice tight pull. And then you will snip off the excess because you won't need that sticking up, and then you can go and do the other side. And this is just for extra security because if you're going to charge someone to make them a table swag centerpiece, you don't want it falling apart because they will want their money back. Right? So we're going to go ahead and snip that away. And I'm just using my floral cutters to do that instead of my scissors. You can get a bag of zip ties from the Dollar Tree for $1.25. Doesn't matter the color. Now, once you have that, it's now time to make a hole in the middle so that we can put our candle on. So initially, I was going to take that off. And again, if I'm going to sell these, I would just use some water or some Gooby Gone to take the label off. Another thing you could do is embellish it with a little bit of glitter. You can use sticker paper and sticker over their label that they have there, or you can soak it off. For me, this is for me, so I am not going to do that. But what I am doing is centering it in the middle and making some incisions in the pool noodle so I'll know exactly where the candle is supposed to go. So that's what you see me doing there with my little knife that I pull to the side. So once I have the idea of where I want it to sit, I'm just going to cut a circle so that my candle can fit snugly inside of the pool noodle. Now, again, if I'm selling this, I would probably leave it open for them so that they can replace the candle if they should want to. But then I would probably clean up the pool noodle a little bit and maybe spray it white so that if they do go to take that out, or maybe I even spray it a darker color so that if the customer did go to take out the candle to replace it, they wouldn't know that that was a pool noodle underneath. So you'll just trim away what you need to trim away for the candle that you're using. If you're using one of those big candles that you can get from what is it, Bath and Body Works, then you might want to glue 3 of the 12-foot sticks together to make it a little bit wider. But for me, I already knew when I picked up the candle from the Dollar Tree what I was going to do with it. All right, so as you can see, it's nice and snug inside of there, and it is ready for the next step. So, yeah, I have to apologize. My camera stopped recording when I actually started filling in the pool noodle and didn't realize that I didn't catch that footage. So, here I just inserted to show you how you would stuff the pool noodles. So, all of the florals have a wire at the base of them, and you're just going to stick them into the pool noodle. Now, I find that it's easier to cut the stems kind of short, but also to come in there as a diagonal. Again, if I were selling this, I would probably reinforce those stems with a little hot glue just to make sure that they're not going to come up, or some E6000. But for the purposes of my own, I'm probably going to repurpose the Thanksgiving one and make it again for Christmas with new picks, which I can do because I'm making it myself. But again, it's very simple. The pool noodle is just like floral foam, and I'm just coming in at an angle and inserting. And the whole goal is to use your floral picks to cover anything up underneath. Again, if I were going to sell it, I would probably spray paint that a darker color so that the blue wouldn't show. But for the most part, it's showing you. Don't forget the sides because you don't want any spacing to show. Now, you can use greenery or you can use more flowers. That is completely up to you. In this case, I'm going to go with flowers for the purposes of showing you guys just how to use it to cover. And I'm going to go right there on the side where that light blue is showing and slide that flower right in there. The beautiful part about this type of project, it's quick. You can use whatever floral you have in your stash. You can use greenery, you can use more flowers, and you can fill it up with as much as you want. You can use some of those little scarecrow picks from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to grab some ribbon to show you how to insert the ribbon next. Other than that, it's just that easy. All right, money makers, this one is a wrap. As you can see, the main one turned out beautiful. I used all the flowers that were on the table. I did go ahead and use the little glitter table scatter to just put a little character on the frosted glass. It looked great in the daylight, but it looked even better when I lit my candle. It's so pretty. I'm so proud of it. And honestly, guys, this with everything that I use, at most cost me $6. And I know that they sell these in Michael's and in Hobby Lobby for at least 3 times that amount. Not only does it look good on the table, but I then put it on one of my bookshelves, and it just brought character to that as well. This is really sellable. In my market, I could probably sell a table swag for at least 20 bucks. So check your market. You can do this for Christmas. You can do this for New Year's, Valentine's Day, you name it. I hope you're enjoying the video. Give it a like, give it a thumbs up, and share it with another crafter. Until the next time, bye everybody.